When you reach a certain stage in life, you look back and realize that success has very little to do with talent alone. I've seen brilliant people fall short because they gave up too soon. And I've seen ordinary people accomplish extraordinary things simply because they refused to stop trying. Passion and perseverance, or grit as some call it, are the real engines of a meaningful life. Tonight, I want to share with you how I've come to understand these two qualities, not from textbooks or theories, but from the long road of living. When I was younger, I thought passion was about excitement, the thrill of new beginnings, the rush of inspiration, and in many ways, it is. But over time, I learned that true passion is not a firework that explodes once in the sky and disappears. Real passion is the flame that refuses to go out, even on the coldest nights. Passion doesn't always feel dramatic. Sometimes it looks like steady dedication. The painter returning to the canvas after failure, the teacher walking into the classroom year after year, the parent waking up early every morning to provide for their children. Passion is not about noise. It's about devotion. But passion alone cannot carry us. Life has a way of testing even the most passionate souls. We all encounter storms, failures, losses, disappointments. Perseverance is what sees us through those storms. Perseverance is not glamorous. It often means showing up when you're tired, trying again when you've already failed, and keeping faith when the results are slow to appear. It's the quiet decision to keep moving forward, even when nobody is watching. Over years, I have come to believe that perseverance is less about strength and more about patience. It's about taking one small step at a time, trusting that those steps will one day add up to something bigger than you imagined. I've seen grit in many forms. I saw it in a young man I once mentored who dreamed of being the first in his family to graduate from college. His grades weren't the highest and money was always tight, but he studied late into the night, worked part-time jobs, and kept going when many others would have given up. Years later, he walked across that graduation stage with his family cheering in tears. I saw it in a neighbor of mine, an elderly woman who at the age of 70 decided she would learn how to read. She had lived her whole life hiding that secret, but she went to the library, practiced with children's books, and slowly unlocked a new world for herself. Her perseverance taught me that it is never too late to chase what matters. These stories remind me, grit does not belong only to the young or the talented. It belongs to anyone willing to hold on when life says, let go. Passion and perseverance are like two wings of a bird. One without the other cannot fly. Passion gives us a reason to begin. Perseverance gives us the ability to continue. Think about building a home. Passion lays the foundation, the dream of what it could be. But perseverance is the daily labor, brick by brick until the dream stands tall. Too often we admire the end result, the success, the achievement, and forget the years of persistence that made it possible. Every song written, every business built, every family raised with love, they are all monuments to the marriage of passion and perseverance. One of the hardest lessons I've learned is that failure is not the enemy of perseverance. It is its teacher. Every stumble, every rejection, every disappointment is part of the process. The people who succeed are not those who never fall, but those who choose to rise again. Failure refines our passion, sharpens our perseverance, and humbles us in ways success never could. Looking back, some of my most painful failures were also the seeds of my greatest growth. As I reflect on a life of both victories and losses, I've come to see passion and perseverance as the true companions of meaning. They don't guarantee fame, wealth, or applause, but they guarantee something greater. The knowledge that you lived fully, that you cared deeply, and that you didn't give up when it mattered most. So if you are walking through a difficult season right now, if the road feels long and the dream seems far, hold on. Passion will give you the reason, perseverance will give you the strength. Together, they will carry you further than you ever thought possible. Because in the end, passion begins the story. Perseverance writes the ending. And together, they make a life worth living.